If you are too attached to trying to make it look a certain way, then you become your own bottleneck to marketing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously you can't chase perfection, but like people who try to be perfectionists, it's just really just another way of just delaying and procrastinating. Diego says, I've been watching a bunch of videos about building myself on Twitch, and one of the biggest things is you got to get content out there as much as possible on every platform. And it's true, which is why I hit you up on the YouTube video recently. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere. Well, my thesis in regards to everything, or anyone who's trying to be a personal brand, anyone who's trying to build a company, it's not just the product that you're trying to sell. You have to become a media company, which is producing a fuck ton of content every day, everywhere.
Either do it yourself or
and then like, which is why like I did the podcasts for Temper Tantrum. That way, we're literally like Temper Tantrums. YouTube is set for February until February because of that type of content, which is like the very much of our content model is the primary pillar content, then it leads to the micro content. Excuse me. So, for example, the podcast I'm giving now, this is becoming a lecture now. A teacher.
Hi, we're Vision Paradox. Nice to meet you.
So, essentially, what it is on the top level is the fucking English.
The top tier?
The top tier pillar content. So that can be a podcast. That can be your video shoot that we did. That's the main piece of content. The next thing would be I'd call it the mini episodes. So if it's a podcast.
Mini-sodes.
Yeah, like we create, if it's a podcast, I'm going to stick to that. I can create whatever topic we talk about and make it into a mini episode. So if we do like how I got into, I don't know, this group, it could be like each question or topic can be a mini episode. And then not only that, if it's video, it even better because you can go to YouTube, you can go to Vimeo, you can go to Spotify, you can go to Anchor, and then because the video and audio can be separate. And then the mini episodes, same thing, distributed there. And then the micro content, which is the stuff we also do, becomes like the inspirational memes we do. Like the one I shared with Diego is me getting beat at a battle. Easily one episode of those pillar content can become 20 pieces of micro content that can be shared on Instagram. It's not going to be used immediately, but it can be used throughout the time, like throughout time, like as you know, as much as you want, because people forget, because people are consuming so much information, they probably forget it within a day. So having a huge library of content, I think, is a must for everyone who's trying to build their brand. Not only can we pull like micro content from that, but you can also pull images and pictures and screen grabs from that, which is which is what a lot of the memes have become on what do you call it, with the Temper Tantrum shoot that I did. Like on our first video, I pulled some images from it. It became memes. It's just like the content can be milked. And not only that, it's not just that like milking the content, but doing that repeatedly for every piece of content you create, which is why like, go ahead.
I applied like a smaller version of that for my day job because essentially we have like an end of year campaign or whatever. And, you know, they're blanking on, well, essentially, you know, we were kind of like brainstorming it and then everyone was working. It was like, so, you know, they have all the stuff ready for things like an email campaign or, you know, what we put out to the local, well, not papers, but, you know, papers, online papers, essentially. And they're like, what do we do for social, Max? Any ideas? I'm like, I got this. Like we had 2 videos that we released. There's still content that was never used in those videos. We still had content from throughout the year that still applies to this whole campaign. I got this. So I like essentially, you know, like kind of gave them everything, like, you know, videos or like micro content and like, you know, kind of formatted the same way you kind of format them, because if it ain't broke, why fix it?
Yeah.
And then, you know, I was just doing all this and like, you know, taking screen grabs from the videos and all. And every single time I've been doing this thing that you've been doing, you making Alex do our editor, which is, you know, go through the video before you start editing, really pick out screen grabs pick out good screen grabs, and I was doing that before I could even start editing the video.
Yeah, and even
and then I'm like, oh look at all this content that I have. Like, and to the point that I'm overwhelmed with content. I'm like, shit, what do I use now?
Yeah, so it's like that's why it's like so. I think of one of our clients, we overwhelmed him with this content strategy because he's like, that's too much. Like it overwhelmed
for
him.
us.
For us, it's like it just makes sense.
For us, it's just regular, just a regular process.
Yeah, for us, it's like, why not have a content library? Nothing always has to be fresh. Like it's good to have new content, yes, but it's also good to have like things in the back burner to continue being consistent and being seen, because ultimately marketing is having like the first step in marketing is getting their attention and being top of mind. So how you do that is being consistent on social media, and the second thing is having really, really good content, which is why like the thing you say a lot in Vision Paradox is the creative is the variable. Like if it doesn't matter if you create the content, if it does not capture the attention within the first 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, that's being generous.
5 seconds.
Then you lose, because we live in an attention economy now. That's a huge part of the game. So that's why people have clickbait titles. That's why people have
clickbait
thumbnails. That's why people have clickbaity meme formats. That's why people do memes to do their marketing. That's why Instagram models are trying, like, and all these people are trying to show ass because it's like sex sells. So it's all about capturing the attention first. Then, like, if you keep it and if it's good enough, people will continue consuming your content. But the thing is, like, who knows what's going to work? Sometimes it's an image. Sometimes it's a video. Sometimes it's an inspirational speech. Sometimes it's a meme. So it's like that's why it kind of bugs me when clients say like, we need to keep in mind the feed, and I'm like, and I get that some people approach it, like some artists approach their feed like a portfolio or an art gallery and all that stuff. But for me, like my approach is like, and I have a look and in terms of consistency with my feed as well. But the thing is, it's like if you are too attached to trying to make it look a certain way, then you become your own bottleneck to marketing yourself. Because obviously you can't chase perfection, but like people who try to be perfectionists, it's just really just another way of just delaying and procrastinating.
Yeah, there's a couple like creators on Instagram that I've seen that like this person's a drag queen, and they would post literally like the 3 in a row of like the same shoot, same outfit, all that, and then somehow like they were like it's very limiting, like there's a lot of things that I want to share, but it doesn't go with the look. And then they were like, fuck it, I'll post whatever I want, and it's been like freeing, and they've been able to basically, and essentially gave them the freedom to, let's say they were given PR, or they had a brand deal, and it's like, hey, you have to post for us, and it's like they don't have to think about, oh shit, how will I work this in with this aesthetic. It's like, no, fuck it, I'll just post, I'll do the post. Just do the post.
Yeah, there's a certain freedom.
You don't have to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that that Instagram became this thing where this was the best practice. This is what you do, and it's like, I get it. It's one way to approach it. It's not wrong. It really isn't. It's just one way to approach it. But if it feels limiting, have fun with it. The whole point is to have fun with it. Create content that you'll enjoy, while simultaneously knowing that it's going to work for the audience. Because ultimately, some people create content that's too self-serving, that it just doesn't work. I almost feel like this content is self-serving because it's us, but it's like it's for fun, so it doesn't really matter. But like for those people who have real who have real business end goals.
Using those platforms,
the first thing you really have to think about is the audience, and
you gotta let go about what you want.
Yeah, because if with the audience, with that data, so to speak, based off how they're reacting to your content, that's what you do. I think there's this really one Minecraft player that blew up, I think last year or throughout this year, and that's because he I think part of it was hopping on trends while he was doing his Minecraft videos, and Minecraft is hard for YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Gaming videos.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I had so I follow this gamer channel, also a Twitch streamer, Donkey, and he would play all these like super obscure games, like super obscure indie games. Like if you search that game, maybe he'd be one of the 3 that would play it and like post a let's play of it on YouTube. And it's also a comedy let's play, so it's like think Game Grumps, and like sometimes they'll play terrible on purpose. And maybe like a full game review, like a serious game review, but like also funny. And he recently posted a video where it's like there's him and a bunch of other similar channels, and within that little bubble they put out really good numbers. But he goes, yeah, but if you put us next to a real YouTuber like Markiplier, his numbers are over here, way out of frame, and they're over here.
Yeah.
So, and taking a look at what's popular within the whole gaming thing, it's Among Us, it's Phasmophobia, it's more Among Us, it's I'm not saying that I don't enjoy Among Us content. I love Among Us content. I enjoy watching it, but at the same time it's like I get it. Like this dude's just really trying to create something that's, for him. So he's like, I'm gonna try this thing, and and also like drama channels,
Oh God.
commentary channels are just getting so much views because they're all just talking about the same thing. It's just like Jeffree Star this, Shane Dawson this, freaking Zoe Laverne this, a bunch of people that I don't know are apparently predators, all this shit. But like, they're all talking about it. They're spitting the exact same facts on their channel, on their individual channels, and they're all somehow getting all the views. And so he was just like, I'm gonna do Drama Monday. Actually, I haven't taken a look at what he's been doing yet, but he's essentially going to play something like, let's say, Minecraft. Take Minecraft, still very popular.
Yeah.
He's going to do a Minecraft thing. He honestly does like Minecraft, but like instead of actually doing an actual gameplay of Minecraft, it's a gameplay from Smash Bros. With Minecraft Steve.
What?
Oh, you didn't know? The Minecraft guys are in Smash Brothers.
What?
Yeah.
That's cool. I did not. I'm so like behind on anything that's happening on Smash Bros.
But yeah, it's just funny. Like I'm like talking about it, and it's not that good. I mean, I honestly don't watch enough Donkey, but I really should.
Yeah, I mean, just going off with that, like it's like, yeah, one way to really build up it's just one approach. It's like building up your awareness is writing what's trending. Also, like while writing what's trending, how do you be different?
Do it your way.
Yeah, it's like
be like Donkey.
Yeah, like one of the things like on my YouTube channel, I guess people consider me a YouTube reaction.
You're a
YouTube
K-pop. Yeah. You're a K-pop reaction channel now.
Fucking
apparently.
hate it, dude. But hey. Like, but I don't want to box myself into which is why I continue sharing different content. But like, I rode that trend and blew up my fucking channel in a month. I hate like it's.
And but the thing is, people like people genuinely stayed. They saw your first reaction. They liked what you had to offer, and they're like, shit, I'm coming back for the next one.
Like, yeah, and then that's what I offer differently, aside from just like fanboying, which is what a lot of people say is like
a lot of it is just fanboying. You're like, oh my God, that was so good, and nothing.
And then what I did differently while writing a trend was like, I reacted, but then I did the analysis as a director and choreographer, like, oh, someone's off here, and I think
carry that over to the Temper Tantrum channel.
Yeah, so it's like it's like
somehow you put me in there as the resident K-pop stan.
Pretty much, like I knew I was probably putting a bullseye on my head, a target on my back, like because I know how hardcore these fans are and how easily how they can be offended if like we critique them. But
we apologize each time.
So like I always be like,
his hand was out.
Like I always
the angle was off. I'm sorry.
Like I don't say sorry. I'm just like
I do.
Like, I'm like I don't. This is just me, and I imagine what I'm calling out. What their own people are calling out. So like, and then they like the fact that I'm doing a play-by-play. It was that whole idea was really inspired by the late great Kobe Bryant's, was it play-by-play, that one where he just did like he had a series where he just always like reviewed these plays and what he would do to make it better. So I forgot what it was called, but it was it was inspired by that. Like, what if
and it's
people?
Not like we're claiming to know better. Like obviously these people trained, and the choreographers are obviously very good at their jobs. It's just what we're seeing, what we're spotting. It's a rehearsal. It's a live performance where you get one shot. Like things happen.
Yeah, so it's like
and we just so happen to point it out. Not sorry.
So that's where I was like, maybe if I enjoy this basketball content of Kobe breaking down a play of what they can do better, maybe people might enjoy it in the same
Mhm.
sense of like of doing dance.
Yeah.
Because then they learn, non-dancers learn, because that's how I learned a little bit more about basketball. So yeah, that's just like going off since so many tangents of like the
Like
macro things,
the
and
typical
then
awkward
writing
tea party
trends,
episode.
and then how to make yourself different while writing a trend. It's like there's a whole
Mhm.
bunch of stuff. Essentially, at the end of the day, that everyone has to become a media company somewhat.
Their own media company.
Yeah,
Either do it yourself or hire one.
yeah,
Hi,
like
within Paradox
if you guys can afford us. If not, there are other resources. Check out Upwork. You can find videographers, video editors there,
Upwork, Fiverr,
or Fiverr.
freelancer.com.
Yeah, so those are good places to start if you're having a hard time trying to, because these things take time. Like
You do.
the filming part is fun, but the post production process takes a lot of time, even more time.
Mm-hmm.
So and then there's
Says
also
the dude currently editing like 15 videos,
but
including this one.
my advantage is like I've figured out a workflow, so it's
That's
like I know how to like get things done faster, and that's something that everyone's gonna get right off the bat because there's figuring out what works for
can't
you.
do your workflow.
Yeah,
because your workflow has no stops.
So yeah, and I think it's similar with a lot of like in terms of media company thing with everyone. It's almost like how there's like a whole music thing and all that, like that you just need that one piece of content that will blow you up, and then try to duplicate it again, but
not duplicate the content, duplicate the success.
Yeah, so like that's where you reverse engineer. So like, and that's where like, again, going from my experience with the K-pop videos, like, okay, this worked. Now how do I redo it? Obviously,
how can you do it better? How
do it better? Yeah. And then I think I hate the thing of saying niche down. I don't think you should niche down, but find a segment, so to speak, that works the best. Because I'd say like me doing my reaction videos is a segment of the entire Emeroy TV channel, because I still do the podcasts. I haven't done tutorials in forever because I don't want to film here because it's fucking a mess. So, and COVID, so like I haven't done tutorials in a while. But
like dance tutorials.
So that's why I'm trying to avoid that. And then everything just becomes a segment. Again, my prediction of like what these YouTube channels will become is going to be like regular TV channels, like, but featuring like, maybe if it's a company, they'll have different things. If it's an individual, it's them doing different things with other people.
I think just from what I'm seeing, like just from the things I subscribe to, the account, the channels I subscribe to, like here on Twitch or like on YouTube, there's a lot of gaming channels. And I think that gaming channels have been the ones that most step out of their quote unquote like niche. Like they don't just do Let's Plays anymore. They don't just stream games anymore. They do like Markiplier had a segment called Markiplier Makes for a while, or PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye do a meme review.
They do meme reviews now.
You have meme time. There's a theme song for it. What else? Or like sometimes Jacksepticeye will just show up with a thing that he bought and then run with it.
Yeah.
Or Game Grumps and the 10-minute Power Hour, which I miss, by the way. And a channel that is currently deceased, but it's two gamer creators doing something that isn't gaming.
Unisonus, right?
What's Unisonus?
I'm gonna make a prediction that they're gonna have a resurrection. They're gonna have a resurrection in 2 years.
Don't give me hope.
No, that's just my prediction because people love nostalgia.
Don't give me hope.
So the idea of nostalgia is going to be a great marketing standpoint. If not in 2 years, maybe 5 years.
Oh, by the way, my brother saw the sticker on the back of my phone. He was like, "Do you have anus on your phone?" I was like, "No, it's honest. There's 2 N's." And he was like, "What does that mean?" I'm like,
"Fancy anus."
1 year. Anus, honest.
Yeah. So it's we talked about a lot. Fuck. Yeah. I don't know, temper tantrum rant or a tangent, and then we went on a how to become a media company kind of thing. So it's been
one person or multi-person media company.
I think the ultimate, like this is the reality of it. If you're first starting and if you don't have the budget, you're gonna have to do it all yourself. If you have a day job, then you're gonna have to fucking suck it
A
up.
lot of these creators used to edit their own shit, and
Yeah.
some of them tried to commit to daily uploads even as they were editing their own shit.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So like, you're gonna have to, after, if you have a day job, you're gonna have to work in those after hours, and or if you're a parent, you're gonna have to wait until that kid's asleep.
Or kids doing homework, or kids
Yeah.
at school. Or,
Yeah. So it's
I mean, if you have a day job, then you can't do that while the kids at school because you're at work.
yeah. Then once you can afford it, that's and even with a small budget, I'd say if you have an extra $50 a month, maybe even better if it's 100, you can probably afford a video editor from another world, from another country. Because the currency conversion, and I get that there are editors here looking for work, but also it's like,
I mean, if you can afford it too.
if you can afford them, pay them.
Yeah.
But if you can't, then there's another way to still get the
There's
work.
always freelancers looking for work, and they may not be from this country.
Yeah. So there's a world of possibilities. If you have that extra money, that's where you can expand to. But just to add a little to that, don't expect them to understand your vision right away. You have to over communicate to the point.
And also maybe send them something that you've done and be like, something like this.
Yeah. So it's like if you have, and then you have to send not just samples, but you have to communicate to them like they're 5, so they know every single step. Because the biggest mistake that I've learned, and I've seen other people do, is that you assume that they're going to get it. They're not, because they're going to interpret your idea, your vision very differently. That's why super clear communication, examples are going to be key. And then eventually you start building your team like bit by bit. You I don't know if you need a graphic designer.
What you did?
Get a graphic designer.
That's what you did.
That's what I do.
Oh wait, Diego. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now, editing my own stuff for now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Diego's is at. I think
He's doing.
And we're talking on, like, he has a group chat on Instagram, and I really like what he's doing right now, trying to improve and change up like different approaches in what he's going to do for his Twitch, building his YouTube. I honestly think he should be putting up his stuff on TikTok, because video games are also of the younger demographic, and especially since you're playing Fortnite, that should be on there as well. I think Fortnite and even LinkedIn, because gaming is a profession, those are the best organic places to market right now. Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook are the pay-to-play arenas now. You need to have, because they have algorithms and all that stuff. Yes, the algorithm works if you have high engagement and all that stuff. But if you really want some really good engagement, it's
got to be paid.
Yeah, paid on those platforms. Yes, Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah,
YouTube, you better be trending. You better do. It's about SEO.
Look out with a collab.
Yeah, collaborations. I'd say right now, if TikTok and
try to get a collab with Markiplier.
So like, especially with TikTok, post 3 times a day. I think it'll be good. I mean that I haven't been doing it, but like, when I started posting consistently on what do you call it? On Temper Tantrums TikTok.
Yeah, 12-year-olds don't know shit. You know that. Ignore them.
So yeah, so Diego on the Twitch chat, he said, I do have TikTok. A bunch of tellers tell me I suck. Yeah, people are gonna say that. They're always gonna say that.
They're always gonna keep saying that.
And I
you need someone to fight them for you all day.
Well, I think I saw some of Diego's comments. He trolls right back, but ultimately, you just that just means you're on the right track. Because if you're getting enough attention for some hate, that means you're also getting attention from other people who appreciate your work.
Remember to thank them for the engagement when you blow up.
Yeah, when I get shout
out to my haters.
When I get hate or people who are angry at me for stopping so much or calling out their favorite artists, I'm like, thanks for the view.
Thanks for the view. Thanks for the engagement.
Yeah, because it's. I mean, no matter what, people are going to be hating it, but like, I think TikTok is definitely the way to go. It is, despite if there's that many people, if 1 or 2 people think you suck, there's probably more people who probably appreciate your work, because the people who are good, the people who have it well, are often the quiet ones. The ones that are the loudest are the
ones that actually suck.
Yes, it's the ones that are also like, it's the 1%, very small group of people that are often loud. And then when there's like the rest of the 99% of people that are actually appreciative of your work, like yeah, same thing with my content. A lot of people are good, but then I see the one comment of a little shit that I want to clap back at. But then, it's easy for us because as humans, we gravitate to the negative shit. I don't know, it's in our nature. So it's part of our survival instincts. Like,
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
part of our survival instinct to acknowledge that and do something about it.
Yeah. So it's yeah. So going back to it, like TikTok and LinkedIn, fucking, if you're trying to push yourself as a gamer, share that shit. I mean, I'm seeing
Hmm.
people share their silk videos on aerial silk videos on LinkedIn because organic reach, man, that
Hmm.
is the gold mine of any online marketer.
Yeah,
So
pretty much anything, almost every kind of like creator can actually like get a lot of like engagement on TikTok. Makeup, like crafts, slime, high B rock, you know, just skits, like turning it into the next Vine, essentially. Like anything right now, anything can happen on TikTok.
yeah, that's the beauty of it. And what I love about TikTok too is that there's no standard in a sense. There's no you're not trying to make your feed look nice. You're not trying to make it look a certain way. A
Mhm.
lot of people's content is raw. You can do it,
Yeah.
film it, and I think I view it as
You
a
can film
mini.
and edit or whatever,
I
or you
feel
can just use the app.
yeah, I view it as like almost like a miniature YouTube because essentially it's its own community. People are trying to flex on it, like, and people of all ages. Like I know a lot of Gen Z is on it, but a lot of like Gen Xers and Boomers are on it too, and
Mhm.
the cool Boomers at least. So so
The ones we fuck with.
yeah, so it's because it just makes sense. Like it's fun, it's different. There's no pressure. I guess it depends on who, but there's no pressure to try to be something or look a
Mhm.
certain way. It's like you can create and put out anything you want right now until a standard is set. Right now, I don't think it's. I think it's the a gold rush.
Mhm.
It's the Wild West of of what do you call it of everything.
Mhm.
There's no feed. There's no rules. There's no nothing.
There's a ton
It's
of creators on there that were very reluctant to be on there because they knew they had to be there to first of all keep the audience that they already have that might just migrate from one app to another and just ignore another app, and they can't just be on the one app because then they lose an audience if they start migrating.
yeah.
um, like there's a lot of creators that are on there reluctantly at first, and now they're like, oh shit, this is kind of fun.
Yeah, and even though, and the beauty of being on multiple platforms is, say Twitch goes out of business, or Twitch becomes a mixer and goes out of business,
Hmm. It
and
gets bought out by Facebook.
it gets bought out by Facebook or Microsoft or
Fuck
whatever.
no.
So if that
Please don't
happens,
do it, Twitch. Please don't.
if that happens, being on other platforms means you can migrate them over. Like Doctor Disrespect, he was
Mm,
being randomly banned on Twitch for
yeah.
no reason. I don't know if it's been revealed yet, but he set up a YouTube, fucking doing better there. So it's like that's why like the different platforms matter. I think it's a lot, and I think it continuing to expand. But I also think that eventually, you know, either we come up with a really unique social media idea that's just not a copycat version, which is essentially what Instagram and Facebook are doing, or
Hmm.
it just falls apart. So I I hopped on two other social media platforms that are kind of the alt tech, quote unquote. I hopped on MeWe, I hopped on Parlor just to see it, and to promote the
Oh,
Kickstarter.
you mean alt right book?
Yeah, so yeah, so it's interesting. Yeah, oh my god,
KKK Twitter?
the very right wing heavy content I see on Parlor is wow. But I'm like, you know, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Here's my Kickstarter. Watch it. Support it, because you know, because you got money too. So look at my shit. But yeah, I think David Dobrik is coming up with his own social platform, David's Disposables. They actually
Hmm.
hired some programmers to start doing it. The idea of it, I think, is very much of, you know how I talked about it, the the posts of like one post a day or something like that. Like I think for this one, his idea is like you take a photo, but your post doesn't go live because it's still developing and you have to wait for 24 hours.
Mm.
So it's a
Sure.
unique take on social media,
Hmm.
but because it's also because there's so much information being thrown at us, so much like a feed and all that. So if it's anyone who I think will make the next big social platform is another social star, but who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
look at how there was a Facebook killer back in the day. There was also Vero, which was the quote unquote Instagram killer.
Hmm.
So that didn't happen. But ironically enough, one of our clients came through Vero. So you never know. So you just never know where the connection is going to be on. If you can, this is how I know platforms are on the rise. It's like I always look at the App Store, both on Android and on iPhone, which is why I have both those phones, so I can see which apps are trending towards the top, around like the top 150 apps. Like for a while, I saw Musically like 30, 40. And this is when it was called Musically, and then fucking TikTok was just like killing it, and then now it's like and surprising. I don't know. This was a month or two ago, but Snapchat was still top 5 because it's a different demographic.
Yeah.
So it's like
the thing is, there's still plenty of Gen Z that use Snapchat.
Yeah. So
I stopped using Snapchat. I don't give a fuck.
Because our generation got used to Instagram, and Instagram has stories. So I was like, oh, might as well just keep it to
Instagram
one.
Instagram was like, oh, you like sharing pictures, but you also like stories and like, short term 24-hour things.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Instagram stories.
Yeah. And then there was recent news of TikTok. Oh, this is a 2-hour podcast now. Oh. So there's recent news of TikTok becoming a 3-minute platform, pushing for 3 minutes, because I just think it makes sense. I think people are pushing back on the idea because like, oh, I came here for the short content.
Does this mean Charlie D'Amelio has to learn more choreo for longer? I
think it just means that she's going to have YouTube style content on TikTok.
It's fair.
Vlogs, very short vlogs on TikTok.
Does this mean she needs to learn more choreo?
That means she needs
and remember it for longer.
She has to make a full
on more. She has to steal. She can steal longer choreo from K-pop girl groups. Okay.
So what do you call it? The 3-minute thing I think is going to be a smart move, because ultimately for every platform they want people to stay on there. So, but it's funny, like how some people are like I don't want a 3-minute video. I want to watch an hour was worth of 1 minute, 15-second videos.
True.
So yeah, again, I think it's smart. I think the trend is obvious that video is the way. Video is the way.